Well, I get to look especially blown out today because there's this bright light coming in from the big blue room. What in the hell do I need to do in this playthrough again? Oh, right. We have to go kill Commander Lucius. Hey, everyone. That's our goal for today. Well, this is kind of, warm-up of a sorts. Whoops. Remembering how to play this character, because it's been a couple days. So yeah, like I said, it's been a couple days since well, it's been more than a couple days for me since I've actually played this character. So I've actually forgotten exactly, like, I had to relearn where I have all the various abilities and crap. Also, we're very close to, like, when, like, I woke up. So, yeah, gonna be a little on the wonky side today. Oops. So it's like, yeah, gotta relearn how to play this druid. So when you go to do this, you can actually run through that area really quickly. It's actually not necessary to fight all the crap that's in there. Unless you want, like the XP or something from it. And, this area actually has a pretty consistent layout that you can just run through fairly quickly. Why are they giving me so many cold ones right off the bat, though? Jeez. Like, I get it. I get it. They're cold ones. That makes them hard for me to deal with. Yeah, it's actually not a huge... I mean, it obviously blocks off certain doors and stuff. But there's not, like, a lot of variation in the direction you're going to be running in here. So when you get over here, it's pretty much, like I said, it's pretty straightforward. So it's going to be a little boring for me to talk about it. So, you pretty much run over here, and you'll find, like, the stick of dynamite with the chest that has the supplies in it. So it's basically a free piece of dynamite. A couple treasure chests over here. And here are your Legion supplies. And like I said, we can go and drop those off at either Homestead, or take them back up to the... guy that's just sitting on the fort, and I tend to take them to him. Just because like Black Legion is actually a little more difficult to get what do you call it? Reputation for. And I don't mind losing a tiny bit of Homestead rep to get it, because I mean we're chugging along in Homestead stuff. Oh yeah, there's been an update recently where they dropped the requirement for Revered, and I think even Nemesis, they just dropped the requirements to get that high. I mean, getting into Honored and stuff is the same, but they just took down the high end of the cap. I mean, I'm fine with it. I actually liked the way Devotion worked before, but... Or Devotion, jeez. Reputation worked before. I know some people had like had trouble reaching the end of it, but it's like it's not actually that difficult to do. Because once you do it once, you make it really, really easy with every other character you have. So it's like I actually didn't have a problem with the way it was before. I actually liked having this crazy kind of difficult like grind at the end to get that stuff. But whatever, it's easier devotion now. So yeah, like I said, it's a very easy route to get through here. Pick up what you need to pick up. Those actually might be kind of a side grade. Now that I think about it, I'm like looking at them, they're actually not that bad. You may be wondering why I'm looking at something that gives physical damage as an option. Well, the Wind Devils are physical, technically. So yeah, you'll know you're on the right track when you find that second lore piece, and then the area will get all aethery, because this is where Lucius is. Like I said, very, very simple to get through. You find this door. There is one, I think it's about right here. Yeah, I think it's like right here. There's a secret-ish area where you can go through a wall, I think. I just don't remember which wall it is. And there'll be just more aetherials in there for you to deal with. So I'm just going to do a little powering through his attacks with my Mir Varactes up. So Lucius here, like that's the big one I worry about for his attacks, are his, and I can't kill him too quickly here, so I'm kind of laying off a little bit. So he has that flame jet, he has that thing where he'll shoot a bunch of projectiles, he'll have a devastation. Whoops. Come on, do your devastation. He did it earlier. So he has that where he sort of does the spread shot. There's his devastation. It's pretty standard ethereal nonsense. He actually gets really difficult if you are playing an Aether character. I'm just going to take all his crap, and I'm going to flip it in the vendor. So he'll actually be quite tricky to deal with if you're an Aether character. Otherwise, he's not that hard, and you can kind of kite him around that central pile of rubble, which I think is why that rubble's in there. And then you can just walk out this door, and it spits you out right here, back where we started. And you'll probably have a mess of ethereal guys to fight if you didn't fight them earlier. But this is where we got to blow up the wall with our blow up the barricade, I mean, with the explosives we gathered off of Lucius. Okay, so we're gonna go back because I wanna point out a thing that you get access to at this point. So, come back up your stairs, and you talk to Creed here. Dang.
The cult's minions will descend upon us in force and will be crushed before we even get to the tomb of the Watchers. Instead, we'll put your unique skills to use. your way into the necropolis past the plains of strife and secure the nearest rift gate. Once you've done so, Ulgrim will come through with a contingent of our men. With the element of surprise on our side, we will strike at the enemy from within.
Yep, so we're basically marching to war, more or less, to help Ulgrim get to the Tomb of the Watchers. So you come over to Weapons Master Edric, and you say, here are the supplies that dinged me. You get an inventory bag, I think regardless of who you give it to. I think scrap regardless of who you give it to. And then you'll get positive rep for either Homestead or the Legion, and then a tiny bit of negative rep with the other one. So yeah, that, like 1,000 rep is not actually something you should, you know, it's a good amount of rep. You know, I will pick up oak skin along the way. That should be a little helpful bonus for us. So we're at 20 and 20, so that's 21. Okay, last thing we can do here is Captain Breve here will be like, yo, there's a witch. And you say, and he's like, you gotta go kill her for us, because she's a traitor. And you say, I'll take care of it. So you give that sort of like non-committal response. And here's an option for players for a faction. So the Outcast here is our last faction. And Anasteria, I'm just probably going to end up saying Anasteria, but Anasteria here is the Outcast. Her backstory is that she was an advisor to the Black Legion, and she's sort of a mysterious kind of aether being. Not much is known about her. The Aetherials refer to her as the Anomaly. I think it's like there's a piece of lore that they call her like the Seeker of Truth or Revealer of Truth or something. And what happened was she joined the Black Legion against the Aetherials and started revealing their plans to the Legion. And what started to happen was the Aetherials knew about this, and they started gaming her abilities to predict. So she'd be like aware of these plots, and she'd tell the Legion about them, but then the Aetherials would turn that around for like traps and stuff, and like her predictions and her advice would start to be wrong. So then, I mean, Captain Lucius just turned on the Legion, and some people in the Legion don't exactly like her anymore. Now, Creed, if you choose to go against her, you have to fight her and kill her, and she'll become an enemy faction. If you choose to ally yourself with her, you gain access to her what do you call it? Her faction stores, which are essentially it's a mix of like every elemental type is pretty much covered here. I believe it's fire, cold, lightning, aether, and fire, cold, lightning, aether. All of those are covered here, and then she has, pretty much any set of weapon offhand augments you could want. So like this character, that's actually a really good one for weapons offhands for this character because he's cold lightning. But you could also pick up like an aether one, there's a vitality damage one, there's a physical pierce one, and then there's actually one for defenses which gives you aether and chaos res, which actually is not a bad option if you really are hurting for those. But you could pretty much get any elemental type for her augments, and then her armor augments are only okay. It's aether, and then it's fire, cold, and cold lightning. And then she has the higher versions of her stuff, and she doesn't have friendly or respected wares, which is kind of unfortunate. But it's really a choice for you, because My general view of it is if you're playing a character that's heavy on the elementals and aether, you should probably ally yourselves with her. if you're doing like bleeding or physical or poison or things that her wares don't cover, then I would probably advise making her an enemy. Because if you make her an enemy, you get a dungeon that's right next to a waypoint that ends in essentially a nemesis drop. She doesn't have a nemesis chest as far as I know, but it is like a freebie dungeon you can go through for her. So it's kind of like, do you want a dungeon or do you want more gear, more variation on your gear and access to different augments? You also, if you ally yourselves with her, it becomes slightly more difficult to build up your Black Legion reputation, because you gain reputation from killing the outcast. And if you ally yourselves with the outcast, you can't do that. So if you want more Black Legion rep, or easier Black Legion reputation, then you'll probably want to make her an enemy. Additionally, her quests will actually have a tiny amount of negative effect on Black Legion reputation. But again, it's like, you might want her more than them for her wares. But the other thing is, if you ally yourself with her, she's really easy to build up reputation with, because her thing is killing ethereals and chthonics. So pretty much just going through the end game, doing all these quests, you'll very quickly build up reputation with her. It's pretty much, you could do either one, and there are benefits to it, and there are slight negatives to it, but the choice is up to you, and there really isn't a correct one here. It's really about your personal preferences.
What a curiosity you are.
So, you could say, enough talk, traitor, time to die and attack her, or you could just start talking to her, or you could say Captain Reeve wants you dead. She's under Creed's protection, obviously. So if you actually kill her, Creed will chastise you for it. I'm gonna defy Reeve and talk to her. So the first thing she wants is one of each of the rare crafting materials. And here's the other advantage to going with her: easy, quick quest. You get more quests out of it, because if you decide to kill her, Captain Reeve will give you a quest. One. It's to go take out some cultists at the Tomb of Korvac in the Astakarn Valley. However, if you ally yourself with her, you get more quests, which means you can level faster. So I'm going to hand those into her. Her second quest is about getting the Fang of the Bone Hunter. And I'm actually going to do a lot of side questing next. So anyways, that is the Outcast and the Armory. The Fort Ikon Armory. So thanks for watching, everyone. I hope you enjoyed this video, and I will see you guys next time for tracking down some side quests throughout the game in all of the acts so far. And I'll see you guys then.